Hey, how's it going? Excuse the hot? Oh, one of the things we missed this year is the beach. This kind of remind me of the time I visited Bali. So I don't know. I'm just in the mood to wear it today. All right. So we're doing research, and the first thing to know when you do research is what will be your resources. Okay, and whether you can tell the difference between reliable and unreliable resources. Okay. So, reliable resources, so what do you need that for? When researching, you always need to be sure that you are getting your information from reliable sources. Some sources are considered to be reliable because they have been written by people who are experts in the field. Okay, thus we may say that these sources do have our trust. Okay, they are trustworthy sources. On the other hand, how do we know or what are these unreliable sources? So we call them. Okay, well, these sources, such as Wikipedia, are not reliable because the authors may not have a thorough knowledge or full understanding of a topic. Now, remember, anyone can post information on the internet, and we need to be critical readers, just so we'd be able to determine what to believe in. We just hate fake news, don't we? Now, what are possible reliable sources? You have to check. Well, of course, since we are in this situation, most of our sources in all the researches that we will do, most, if not all, will be online sources. Okay, so as much as we want to work on books, on reliable journals, all right, that can just be so impossible. Okay, now how about online ones? Now, how will we know if the online resource is reliable or not? Okay, now to determine reliability of online sites and organizations, you need to look at the URL's ending, the ending part of the website. All right. For instance, if you are researching about education, if you are researching about how knowledge is formed, okay, then you might go for websites that ends with .edu, okay, because that most likely is a website of an educational institution, okay. However, if you do so, always bear in mind that some of these sites have political bias. Okay, so you go to, how do they call that? You go to more objective sites as possible. Okay, another one, if the site ends with .gov, then you'd know that that website is a website of a government institution. All right, a reliable government website rather. Okay, so this is where you'd find statistics, objective reports. Okay, and then if you need a website that ends, or you found a website that ends with .org or .org, then these websites are normally websites of nonprofit organization. Okay, and most of them are highly reliable. All right. Now these sources vary in being good or poor sources of information, and you will still need to research their possible agendas and biases if they exist. Okay? Now, it would be good as well to look for online journals and magazines. All right? So, reliable journals and magazines should contain a one bibliography for every article. Okay? So, such journal or magazine should be able to list down within that bibliography, the extensive and scholarly or inclusively scholarly and non-internet sources that they've used. Okay, think about do these sources or evidence support the article's focus or the article's main idea? All right. And then another one, news sources. Now, every television and print news source has a website. BBC, CNN, and whatever we have in Indonesia, they should have a very reliable source website. Okay. However, you have to be aware. All right. You need to know if the focus of the website is more of entertaining, to entertain and not to give information, then you try to shy away from those websites. Okay. Think of those sources as a stepping stone into a more reliable ones. How about that? Okay. Um, Now, how will you know if the website is unreliable? Um, well, here are examples of unreliable website. One, Wikipedia. Okay, now why is Wikipedia unreliable? When it is actually it is actually a good starting place for ideas. Okay, so you can still go there and check what Wikipedia can offer you. All right, but do not pick anything from Wikipedia. Rather, go to the bibliography part, the sources part of Wikipedia, and study that source, not from Wikipedia itself. Why? Because anyone can edit Wikipedia. Okay, so for instance, I want to act like I know a lot about, I want to act like I'm a medical expert, for example, and I want to talk about COVID-19 virus. So I logged on to Wikipedia and I saw that it has an article about it, and I want to add my made to believe ideas about COVID-19, and it will be there. And those who will read that won't know whether I added something that is reliable or not. Okay? Another ones would be blogs or tweets, some personal websites. If these personal websites are not by the person, with reliability or credibility, then you shy away from that website. Okay, but for instance, he is a renowned historian. Okay, and then you go and check his background, and his background definitely tells you that he is a very reliable person to speak about your topic in your research. Then you can make use of that website. Okay, normally, if these people are reliable ones, these people are competent ones, and they will also add bibliography in their personal websites. Okay, forums definitely are not reliable. Okay, the Quora thing that you will find online, please, they are not reliable at all. Okay, self-published sources. Unfortunately, Facebook has a lot of that. Okay, so people would publish their own source, would publish themselves as their own blogs as sources, and then make it appear like it is reliable, and then they paste that in Facebook or in other SNS. All right, you have to be careful with those. If they are self-published one, question them. Okay, um, opinionated articles or Baidu. I hope you guys are not working on anything Baidu because they are not good. Now, anything that ends with .com are unreliable. Okay, these usually are websites of companies, and they are there to sell you something. Okay, so they are not sites for getting information. They always have hidden agendas. Okay, so you've got to think, or are they trying to sell something? Does that is that .com site actually is selling you a product or an idea? Then most probably it's not a reliable source. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this PowerPoint video. Just so you know, all information I said here, I mentioned here, are by Wikipedia. Just kidding. Okay, have fun on our topic about reliable and unreliable sources. I'll meet you in our classroom. Bye.